Welcome back to Lingoni English. My name is Emily. Are you bored right now? Do you think English grammar is interesting? What about this video? Is this video boring or interesting? Well, I hope it's interesting because today we're talking about something very interesting. We're going to look at ed and ing adjectives and when to use them. Let's get started. Most of these adjectives are formed by adding ed or ing to the end of a verb. For example, to bore. You could say boring or bored. To interest. You could say interesting or interested. When we add these endings, the verbs become adjectives. Okay, so we know how to form the adjective from the verb, but there are two options, ed and ing. What's the difference? Well, compare these two sentences. My brother is bored. My brother is bored. Okay, maybe he has nothing to do. Maybe he's sitting on his phone, watching TV, wishing he could hang out with his friends, but he has nothing to do. He's bored. Okay, what about my brother is boring? He's boring. Well, if he's boring, that means he's no fun to be around. He makes you feel bored. Let's give it another shot. The class was interesting. The class was interesting. I guess the students who are in the class liked the class. They wanted to learn more because the class was interesting. Okay, the students were interested in the class. The students were interested. They're interested in the interesting class. The students are interested in the class because the class is interesting. They want to learn more. See how the meaning of that sentence changes based on the ed or ing ending? Yeah, it makes a big difference. But how do you know which one to choose? Well, there are two options. You use the ing ending when the thing, situation, or person causes that feeling onto someone else. Here's another example. The workout was tiring. Because the workout was tiring, I'm feeling tired. You can think of this as a characteristic. It's tiring, it's boring, it's interesting. Let's look at a few example sentences. The movie bores the children. So you could say, the movie is boring. The children, they all fell asleep. They aren't interested because the movie is boring. The children are feeling bored. Another one. The website confuses the grandmother. So maybe the grandmother says, hey, this website is confusing because she's feeling confused from the website. Lastly, Jane went on a date and the date was disappointing. She did not have a good time and she thought it would be better than it was. Jane said that date was disappointing. Remember that the ing adjectives cause that feeling onto someone else. The movie was boring, so the children felt bored. The website was confusing, so the grandmother felt confused. And the date was disappointing, so Jane felt disappointed. So that brings us to the ed adjectives. We use these when we're describing an emotion felt by a person or sometimes animal. They are receiving this action and it causes an emotion or feeling. Back to that movie example. Because that movie was boring, the children are bored. The emotion or feeling they have is boredom. They are bored. Back to the website with the grandmother. The grandmother is confused because the website doesn't make sense to her. She's confused. And Jane with her date, well, Jane felt really disappointed. Jane was disappointed. Now that you know how to use them, let's do a little quiz to see how much you understood. I will say a sentence, and here at the bottom of the screen, you will see two words, the ed and the ing form of the adjective. Why don't you pick what you think fits best in this sentence? Let's go. I don't like to sing karaoke. It's embarrassing. It gives me the feeling of being embarrassed. Sometimes my little sister does not stop talking. She's so annoying. She causes me to have that feeling. Another one. Whenever I'm about English grammar, I open my textbook. Whenever I'm confused about English grammar, I open my textbook. Okay, the next two are a little different. I'll give you a word, and you need to make the adjective form of it that fits in the blank. Here's the first one. Frighten. Frighten. That movie was... I'm by it. That movie was frightening. I'm frightened by it. Okay, the next one. Relax. Relax. I haven't felt really in a long time. I need to take a vacation. I haven't felt really relaxed in a long time. I need to take a relaxing vacation. Well, there you have it. ED and ING adjectives. Hopefully now you know how to use them. How about you try to write a few sentences of your own? Like, what do you think is interesting? What do you think is confusing about English grammar? Or when have you felt embarrassed in your life? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching Lingoni English. See you next time.